Good morning. How is everybody doing? I am so excited to be here. How are you? Hello. Tell me in comments how you can hear me and if you can see me okay. I'm trying to fix my shirt because the microphone sometimes pulls the shirt down a little bit. How are you doing? Hi. Hello. Can you hear me okay? I always like to check to make sure. One time I was talking. Hi, Shelly. And people couldn't hear me. There was something wrong with the audio that day. So I just want to make sure that everything is good and that we're good to go. How are you doing? Today we have an awesome day. I am so excited. Today is, thank you, Shelly, for the feedback. Okay, today is a super special training. And the reason why it's so special is because it is the last training that we're going to do before the 5-day workshop, the free 5-day workshop. It is super exciting. So we're going to take the week off from the live show because we're going to be inside the workshop Facebook group doing the workshop for 5 days. So you're going to show up 5 days live. You can watch the replay if you can't make it live, but it is highly recommended that you do show up live because it is so cool that you get to actually participate. So if you want to sign up, make sure that you go to that link, enter your email, and you're going to get an email with all the instructions, what Facebook group to join. You're going to get the link to the, I'm putting it in comments right now, to the workbook. Let me show you the workbook. It's awesome. So you're going to get the download and you're going to print it. Okay? You're going to print it out because you're going to need it each day that we do our training. You will fill it out and you will have the one page where you're going to be filling out the notes, but then the other page is for your homework, for your implementation. So I'm going to make you think. I'm going to make you really stretch yourself and learn. This workshop, I know it's free. It's 5 days, 5 hours. It is course worthy. People are asking me, why aren't you charging for it? I really want to help you out, but you need to get the most out of it. With a workbook, you get to keep those notes. Even when the workshop videos go away, you still keep the stuff that you learned. So make sure that you sign up, enter your email. I put it in comments. You see it? So you go there, sign up, and then you will go into the Facebook group where we're having the workshop. We're not having it on this page, and we're not having it on YouTube. We're having it in the Facebook group. And then you're going to be able to download the workbook and print it out, have it all ready to go. We start Monday. It is so exciting. Monday through Friday next week, October 26th through 30th. So exciting. And then also, this is an added extra. If you want a certificate of completion for the workshop, your 5 hours of training, Montessori training, then you definitely want to, number one, have signed up. You join the group, you get your workbook printed, you show up the 5 days, go through the 5 lessons and fill out everything, because after the workshop is over, I'm opening a submissions form. You can request a certificate of completion. You will need to show me proof that you did complete the workbook, that you did attend the 5 lessons by completing the workbook. And after that proof, I'm going to check it out. I will create the certificate for you and email it to you. So this is not a Montessori certification or a license to teach Montessori because it's only 5 hours. But a lot of people that need that professional development training, like you are working towards professional hours or work hours, professional development. In Montessori schools, a lot of Montessori schools count the certificate towards their professional development. So you don't want to miss it. And if you don't care towards going for certification or licensing or professional development, you still want the certificate just for the pride of it. It's something that you completed. Why not get proof of it? It's easy. It's free. It's all completely free. You just do need to understand that you do need to complete all 5 days of the training, so you can fill out all 5 days of the workbook and you can send me the proof. It's all in the submission form, but it's not going to happen until after the workshop is done. So there will be replays for the videos in case you missed it, but those replays are also going to be gone on Tuesday, November 3rd. Okay, so that is going to be the cutoff date. If you miss something, you have the weekend and Monday and half of Tuesday, because the workshop will disappear on Tuesday, November 3rd at noon Eastern time. So think New York at noon, New York time at noon. So that is when all the videos will disappear. If you want the certificate, make sure, no, the homework doesn't count because the homework is optional. I just check that you actually completed the training. So there's one page for your training to fill out, and then there's one page for your homework. It is up to you. If you really do want to grow in your Montessori journey, then you do complete your homework, but that is optional. What I'm going to be checking is that you showed up to the workshop and that you stayed, you watched the entire thing, filled out all of the blanks. I just want to make sure that you're actually getting everything out of it. Okay, so the homework is up to you. I just want to see the training day sheet. That's where I'm going to see, okay, she followed along, she watched she listened, she was asking questions, she was participating, she was looking at the slides to fill out the blanks, things like that. So those are proofs for me that you actually attended the workshop. I can't just hand out certificates to people that didn't really complete it. So anyway, I'm so excited about it. This is the last training. So I reserved this special training today specifically for the week before the training. Okay? Change your thinking as a Montessori guide. Last week we talked about in episode 18, this is episode 19. In episode 18, we talked about you being the Montessori guide. The Montessori guide is not a book. It's not an album. It's not a pamphlet. So let's get started real quick with our show.
Hey there, this is Tanya Wright from thenaturalhomeschool.com, the place for homeschool and Montessori lovers ready to make themselves centered, organized teachers, nurture happy children, and create smooth and successful days. Let's get you closer to your transformation today. Welcome.
Welcome to the Natural Homeschool Show. I am so glad that you are here. Be sure to follow us on social media. If you are a homeschooler, join our Facebook group called the Natural Homeschool Community. And if you do Montessori, whether it's homeschool or not, but Montessori is included in your learning or your lifestyle, then join our Facebook group called the Montessori Way Prep Room. Both groups are safe places that will help you grow in your journey. And speaking of growth, you might want to take notes during the training, because if this doesn't apply to you right now, it might apply to you later, or you might be able to help a friend. Now, what happens if you are enjoying these live trainings and you want to go deeper in these topics? Well, my time is limited when I go live, and I want to be respectful of your time too. So I can always answer questions if you have them. Even if you're watching the replay, you post your comments and I'll be happy to come back and answer them because I get notifications. But if you want to go deeper, then you probably want to sign up for our weekly email. The weekly email is going to be going even deeper. So we're doing the training, and then the email will go a step further in your learning. I'm putting the link in the comments right now. So you can sign up for the emails, and then you gain even more knowledge on the topic. So it's almost like you get 80% on the training, but then in the email you get the other 20%, which is great. Did you guys see the link? It's in the comments if you want to sign up. Okay, so let's get started. What do you know about limiting beliefs as a Montessori guide? What are your limiting beliefs? What do you tell yourself, or what do you see? What do you put on yourself as an expectation as a Montessori guide? Remember, last week in episode 18, I talked to you about you being the Montessori guide. You are. It's not a book. It's not a manual. It's not an album. It's you. You are the guide. Okay? Those are the learning materials. Those are very important because you learn about the philosophy of the Montessori method. But you are the Montessori guide. Some people are called Montessori teachers, but in reality, they are guides. And if you are interested, you can watch the entire training for episode 18 on my website, thenaturalhomeschool.com. Just look it up. You are the Montessori guide in the search window, and it will take you right there. You can watch it, listen to the podcast, and read the notes in there as well. So having said that, we're clarifying the vocabulary. So when I say Montessori guide, I don't want you to immediately go to think that I'm talking about a book, that I'm talking about an album or a training, okay? A lot of people have limiting beliefs in saying, okay, my only two options here are to figure it all out on my own, somehow do all the research and all the reading and all of the planning myself to do Montessori, or I have to go through certification and spend countless hours and thousands of dollars to go through the certification to get the proper training, right? But what if I told you that there's an in-between? And that is what I want to talk to you about in the workshop. And if you're watching the replay like weeks from now and the workshop is over, you can still go and sign up to the waiting list, because I do these free 5-day workshops a few times a year. This year I'm only doing it twice. I might do it 3 times next year, but it's definitely worth it. So if you want to do it, you need to do it now. And if it's past the time you're listening later, you can add your email to the wish list, to the wait list, and I will send you an email when it's time to get started again, when a new workshop is about to start. and you don't want to miss that. In the meantime, you're going to be able to watch the free trainings that I do every week. You will be able to get the emails going deeper, diving deeper into the Montessori topic. So you're not stalling. But the workshop, let me put it this way. I give you baby steps in a different topic every week, and you're advancing, right? You get the emails, you advance even more. But when you do the workshop, it's 5 days in a row, 5 hours of training, consecutive 5 hours. And you get to leap so many steps all at once in the workshop. That's why I want to encourage you and to invite your friends as well, because it is such an important thing to do, and it's completely free. So make sure you sign up. And a lot of the limiting beliefs are those two things. I have to do it on my own, or I have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars and hours of training for a proper Montessori license. Even those of you that are just going to be doing it at home, not necessarily working at a Montessori school. So I can see how the limiting beliefs can stack up against you. You can really feel it because you're like, I can't do one or the other. It just takes too much time and effort on one end. It takes too much money on the other end. There's an in-between. Please join the workshop. I want to talk to you about it there because I have the Montessori Way Foundations framework. And it is wonderful. It is a framework that will give you everything you need about the philosophy of the Montessori method, the foundations. I am not feeding you lesson plans to give you give a man a fish. You feed him for a day. The Montessori Way Foundations framework actually teaches you to fish. So you have the foundation of the philosophy, and I do give you lessons, but the material that you're going to be learning is going to be the kind of stuff that you will be able to apply to anything that you come across, okay? So there is a big difference. And I really want you to be aware of that. There is an in-between, and it is a great, great option. So I can't wait to share more about it with you. But today we're going to be talking about changing your thinking as a Montessori guide. There is so much that must happen internally before we can flourish to become a centered, organized Montessori guide as we nurture happy, normalized children in the Montessori environment. So if you're looking to become a centered, organized Montessori guide, and you want to nurture happy, normalized children, and want to create smooth, successful Montessori days, then you are in the right place. Let's get started with our lesson. Let me know in comments what you know about this topic. Like, share your limiting beliefs, share what you are thinking while I'm doing this training. I want the feedback. I want you to tell me what has worked for you, what hasn't worked for you, what is frustrating you, and I can help you as I do the teaching. So let me go to the next slide. You want to take notes, okay? It's very important. I want to show you, let me make it bigger so you can read it. I want to share a quote that is going to get your mind thinking in the right direction. You must learn a new way to think before you can master a new way to be. You have to change your mind internally, your thoughts, your heart, before it manifests in the physical, okay? So when you're a Montessori guide and you have all these limiting beliefs on the inside, what's going to manifest on the outside? If you are lacking confidence, what's going to show? to the children you're serving. Lack of confidence. If you are always doubting yourself, self-doubt, putting yourself down in your thoughts, that's what's going to come out. So we need to start thinking differently before we become something different, okay? I really want you to learn that and really internalize that. Whether you are trying to figure out a Montessori homeschool schedule with the pandemic, a lot of people are all of a sudden not having Montessori schools open, and they decide to do Montessori at home, but they don't know the philosophy. They don't know where to start. So that is a limiting belief. If you start to change your way of thinking, then you will be free of the Montessori curriculum pressure, and you will start to sit back, look at everything around you, and be able to be at peace knowing that you will figure it out. It will be okay. There is no reason to be freaking out or be scared. It is going to be work, but it is doable. So let me go to point number 2. These are 3 steps of 5. This slide has 3 steps. The next slide has the other 2, so be sure and stay here with me and take notes. These are the steps to changing your thinking, okay? Some of these words might sound negative, but they're actually positive. Why? Look at number 1, discomfort. If you are comfortable where you are you going to want to change anything? No. You're comfortable, you're good. There's no need to change. I don't have to change anything, I'm good. But when you're feeling that discomfort, like, I wonder what is going on with this Montessori philosophy. It sounds really good, and it sounds like it's something that would work for my children. Maybe you have a daycare. I know a lot of people, have some clients right now in the Montessori Way Foundations framework that have a daycare that are making it Montessori friendly. So they're going through the framework so they can start shifting more and more activities towards the Montessori philosophy, the Montessori method, and incorporate some of the Montessori curriculum in it. So first, you need to have that discomfort, that stirring up inside, like, I just heard about this philosophy and that there's something about it. I need to go learn more. I need to know more because it sounds so interesting and it's so successful. What is going on? So that discomfort will start stirring things up. It's not a bad thing. You need that discomfort to propel you to action. If you are comfortable, you won't feel the need for a change. And that's why I saved this training for right before the workshop, because I want to stir that in you. When you do the workshop, boom, it's like 2 forces colliding, that discomfort and then exactly what you need to get moving, to get going, and to propel you forward on your Montessori journey. So Maria Montessori was the Montessori philosophy creator. She was so smart, and she had a way of really stirring things up on the inside, where she wanted us to be better, because if we are better, then we serve the children better, and then they become better. It's like a chain reaction. If we have all these limiting beliefs here, they manifest in the physical. That's what children see. That's what children learn. That's what they absorb. And then that's what they do. So that chain reaction needs to change, and it starts up here. You get that discomfort, right? Number 2, you go to the awareness, through the awareness phase, where you are like, So now I'm doing a little bit of research. I'm finding out the Montessori education requirements. Um, I'm finding out about the Montessori albums and the lessons and the presentations, the Montessori environment setup, the Montessori material. So you're starting to become aware, hey, this is a really different philosophy of education, a different method. There's a lot that is different. It is not teacher-centered like in traditional schools. It is child-centered. You prepare the environment for the children. You don't tell the children what they're going to do. You give them the freedom to choose within the prepared environment. That's the key. So you start to become aware, right? So you're moving forward. You're not just in the discomfort zone. You start to move to point number 2. Let me know in comments if you feel that you are in stage number 2 or that you have gone through stage number 2 already. And then stage number 3 is you're searching, right? So you're like, okay, I'm hearing more and more about this, but I need to go deeper. And that's why you're here. I really appreciate that. I would say that probably all of you are at least at this stage 3, because you're searching, you're trying to find more information. You're looking to discover what a day in the life of a Montessorian looks like. What it looks, what a Montessori environment looks like, what a normalized child looks like. A normalized child is a phrase that Maria Montessori used a lot. And I always reiterate, because some people have an aversion to the name, it has nothing to do with being normal or abnormal. Normalized is being adjusted to the Montessori environment. So you are searching. You want to know what Montessori work is supposed to be set up for the child and how it is supposed to be presented. You are searching in Montessori books for teachers. You're reading and you're researching. You're trying to find out more. So there's a little bit of a click in the discomfort. And then there's more eye-opening in the awareness, number 2. And then there's an actual action happening in stage 3, which is searching. Now let's talk about stages 4 and 5. I'm going to give you a chance to write these down real quick, so you can consult that later. In the meantime, let me tell you a little bit about the workshop again, because it's starting on Monday.
Hey everybody, it's Tanya Wright from thenaturalhomeschool.com, and I am super excited to invite you to the Montessori Way Foundations workshop. What is that? It is a free 5-day workshop where we're going to be delving in deep in the Montessori foundations, so you will have a better understanding of the Montessori philosophy, and in turn, that is going to make you a centered, organized Montessori guide, so you can nurture happy, normalized children and have the beautiful side effect of creating smooth and successful Montessori days. So look at the link and the information below and sign up. It starts October 26th and it's free, 5 days. Show up live and participate. I'll see you then.
All right, we're back. And let's go through stages 4 and 5 of changing our thinking as the Montessori guide. Or I couldn't decide on which topic to pick. I wanted it to have change your thinking, but I keep going back and forth between change your thinking as the Montessori guide or change your thinking about the Montessori philosophy. Either one. I think both of them are pretty much depicting exactly what I'm talking about right now. And I think you're definitely catching on what I mean. So just to keep this short, let's move on to stage 4, which is the learning. So you're searching in number 3, and now you're actually learning. Remember that learning requires time and effort, and sometimes it requires money. And it depends on how passionate you are about this calling. If you feel like you are called to do the Montessori method, then where there's a will, there's a way. And I want you to change your thinking in terms of, I'm just learning so I'm not lost, as opposed to, I am learning so I can change lives. Because the children that you are serving are going to be so much better, well-rounded individuals based on your thinking. So remember, the way that you are thinking and what's up here, all the knowledge, all of the limiting beliefs that you are dispelling, that you are ignoring, and all of the new methodologies and the way that you are shifting from the traditional school mindset to the child-centered instead of teacher-centered, all of those things are going to come out. Whether you personally do it intentionally or not, it will come out. So you got to be careful with that. Change your thinking starts up here. So now that you are learning, you are gaining more and more confidence, right? You are feeling like, oh, so instead of just you could buy Montessori lesson plans all day long. Monkey see, monkey do. Step 1, let's do it. Step 2, let's do it. But what if you learn the foundations of the philosophy, the reasoning behind the philosophy? So yes, you could get some of those lesson plans, but what if you only get lesson plans on botany and all of a sudden the children that you are serving are interested in the solar system? What are you going to do? Frantically look for lessons, Montessori lessons on the solar system? No. If you know the foundations of the philosophy and you know how the philosophy works, the foundation of it, you can exercise that information on anything. That's why I wanted to create the Montessori Way Foundations Framework, because it doesn't just feed you for the day. Here's your lesson for the day. Here's your lesson for the day. No, I actually teach you the foundations. So I'm teaching you to fish. So then you can apply it to everything. That is the shift in thinking. You're not just being fed the information. You can actually produce it yourself, within yourself. Imagine the pride that you are going to have to know that you are serving the children exactly the way that they need it because of the way that you changed your thinking. And that takes me to the last step, which is step number 5. Trusting. Do you know how much strength and courage it takes to trust? Especially nowadays. We can get hurt, we can get burned, we can be damaged. To trust takes an incredible amount of strength and courage. So for you to start trusting yourself is huge. You can start trusting yourself because you have searched, you have learned, and now you say, hey, you know what? Yes, I can do this. I can. I have learned so much. I've shifted my thinking. So you've gone from the discomfort and all those limiting beliefs to, yes, you might still have some doubts and you still might have some limiting beliefs, but it's going to be way, way less. Okay. So there are things that you can do, like have a Montessori planner that will help you in that trust system. This is one that I made that is wonderful, super helpful for Montessorians, because it keeps you in that trust factor. You keep all your notes, you stay organized, and the more organized you are, then you can just keep looking back year after year. What did I do this year that really worked? What didn't work? Here I explain how to get the Montessori planner. There are beautiful Montessori quotes that keep you encouraged and inspired. There are lesson plans, but then there are also calendars and sheets with additional forms. You have yearly planners, weekly planners, monthly planners, charts for the different lessons, supplies list, attendance sheets. I mean, everything. You even have a sheet where you can draw your Montessori environment to see from a bird's eye view what is working best for the setup in your Montessori classroom and your Montessori environment. So these are the kinds of things that will build that trust in you, to trust yourself that you are doing it right, because you're keeping track. You're taking notes, you're observing the children, you have your lessons, you have the basics. Everything is in here. So when you have it in writing, you can consult it, right? So I have the Montessori planner in my shop, and it is awesome. You just go to, I don't have the link here. I'm just going to put it in real quick. It's shop. So you go to this link, shop.thenaturalhomeschool.com, and you're just going to click on the tab that says planners, and you will find the Montessori planner there, just to get give you an idea on something that you can do to build that trust. But more importantly, I really want you to attend the workshop. I really, really do. It's going to help you so much. It's going to really change your thinking. So this is what is going to propel you forward the most. This is what I'm recommending, and I am putting the link to the workshop again in the comments, because I really want you to attend. It is free. It's 5 days, and it is going to be amazing. Last time when I did it, people were super excited. I was handing out, I think I handed out like 60 or so certificates of completion. So more than double that attended the workshop, but about 60 people actually requested the certificate of completion. It is so awesome. So it is going to be so much fun. I only offer it a few times a year, so be sure to attend. It's going to be amazing. All right, so let me come to the comments real fast, because I saw that people were commenting. Shelly, I truly want to change, just don't know where to start, and will work with only younger children. Well, be sure to attend the workshop. We'll talk a lot about where to start there. Larissa, you are searching. Yes, that is a step in the right direction. Giselle, you say, I am in stage 3, I think. Maybe now that you know stages 4 and 5, you can see where you are at. Shelly, yes, I am on here and at stage 3. You want to learn because, you want to learn to present the lessons to your son correctly. That is very important. I will talk to you about that in sensitive periods inside the workshop. Iman, I just got this. Is there a way I can see it from the beginning? Yes, after I finish going live, then you can watch the replay. The replay will be here, so you can watch the replay of the talk. Absolutely. And Megan, this was great. Thank you. Looking forward to the workshop. I am excited about it. Super excited. I'm really looking forward to it. And Larissa, looking forward to the workshop. You're welcome, Iman. Yes, I'm getting off real fast. I went over by 10 minutes. Usually I try to keep it to 30 minutes on the weekly trainings. Now remember that the workshop will be longer. Count on the 5 days, 1 hour each day max. I will cut it off, I promise, at 1 hour, except day 5. On day 5, count on an hour and a half. It's the deepest, biggest day. I titled it Your Next Step for Montessori Success, and that one is going to be the one that is going to be explaining to you your next step after all the training that we will be doing that week. So make sure and mark your calendars, 1 hour, Monday through Thursday, and then on Friday about an hour and a half, okay? All right, you are welcome. You're welcome. Yes, I'm looking forward to it as well. Okay, well, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week inside the workshop. Invite your friends. It's going to be amazing. Bye.
I appreciate you sharing time with me today. You have tons of choices about what you're listening to, and I love that you chose the Natural Homeschool Show. Thank you. Well, that's it for today. Until next time, this is Tanya Wright with thenaturalhomeschool.com. I hope that you will use this training to create solutions that will bring about smooth, successful days for you. Let's get you closer to that transformation today.